Hi, I'm Beth Walker, co-founder of Cauldron Ferments, and this is my home fermentation lab. These are some of the things that I work on in my off time. I've got some red wine vinegar going here. I've got some sauerkraut. I have some blueberry wine. I have some pickled cucumbers here. I've got firecracker carrots. I have something that I call my root vegetable slaw, which is a shredded combination of beets and carrots, onions and turnips. Basically, it's seasonal root vegetables that I shred and ferment. Tastes fantastic. I have some Korean chili paste going that I've had aging for a couple months that I'm excited to try. I've also got some crocks here that don't have anything in them, but these are what I do some of my larger batches in. This one in particular comes in really handy in the summer when I have a large batch of cucumbers that I need to get done. I can fit probably almost 10 pounds of cucumbers in here, so that's really good for getting big batches done. Over here in this corner, I've got kombucha and vinegar down here in the corner. Kombucha.
What kind of vinegar?
Apple cider vinegar going right now. It's one of my most favorite things to do. I use it for cleaning, I use it for cooking, I use it for drinking because it's fantastic. You can make fire cider out of it. Kombucha is one of the first things that I started fermenting, and this batch I've had a continuous batch going for probably almost 6 years now. And then over in the corner behind us, over here, I have a batch of mead going. Mead is one of my newer experiments, and I've had a lot of fun experimenting with different seasonal flavors and the honey I get locally, and we've got some pretty exciting meads that I'll be able to taste eventually.
What do you have going right now?
This is cranberry apple mead. So I'm hoping that this will be done maybe in time for Thanksgiving. Might be a little bit young for Thanksgiving this year, but over here I've got a food dehydrator, which is fantastic for dealing with fruits and vegetables that you want to save for the winter, but I also have found that it is the best yogurt maker I have come across. So this is a 3-gallon pot that I use. I make about 8 quarts of yogurt a week that I give out to some friends who really like fresh homemade yogurt. So this is one of my other projects. When everything's done, I end up putting things down in the basement. So this is where things ferment at room temperature. So this room is probably between 65 and 75, I guess, when it's really hot in the summer. But this is where things stay for their warmer fermenting, their first stage, and then things can go down in the basement where it's cooler, or it can go in the fridge when I think they're done.
Nice.
Yeah.
And you've been building this up for some time, I assume?
Yeah, I've been working on things for probably about 6 years now. So I've had some experimenting with different kinds of crocks. Like this one over here has an airlock system set up. I don't know if you can see it over here, but this works really well. With this kind of crock here, you need some sort of plate or something to keep everything submerged. I've got weights in it that I use. I actually really like fermenting in the flip-top jars here. That's been a newer experiment of mine that I've figured out. I end up with a really consistent batch of vegetables every time. I haven't had any problem with yeast on top. I haven't had any mold problems, so that's one of my favorite vessels to ferment in.
Those are also known as Fido jars,
Yes.
I believe?
Yeah.
Yeah, the gasket.
Yeah, it allows...
Lets it out.
Exactly, it allows air, it allows all of the gases to escape without any air getting in. And so I've had a really successful run of consistent ferments with the flip-top jars.
Right on. We're going to move on and maybe take a peek in your basement.
Absolutely.
All right.
Come on down. So this is my basement storage area. I have some mead going that I've got. These are both in their secondary fermentation stage. I've got tons of mead that's aging in bottles down here. I probably have like 15 gallons of mead going down here that'll be ready to drink eventually. I have some sauerkraut over here that I'm sort of conditioning at cellar temperature. So during the winter, the temperature down here stays between 50 and 53, which is perfect for cellaring. It's going to really halt a lot of the fermentation activity, really slow things down. So if you're looking to age some of your things like sauerkraut and some of your more hardy ferments, cellar temperature is perfect for that. So when I'm done fermenting them upstairs, I can come down here. I don't need to worry about refrigerating them because I know that my basement is going to be cold over the winter. During the summer, the basement is actually perfect temperature for fermenting meads and beers, which are things that I generally like to ferment a little bit below room temperature. So between 65 and 70, I've actually found is perfect temperature for fermenting mead. So I bring them down here and ferment them down here during the summer because I know it's going to be cooler. I have some barbecue sauce down here. I've got some of my own cider, apple cider vinegar. I've got some blueberry vinegar down here. I have some hot sauce down here. So the cellar is really a very good place to sort of age some things that you don't want sitting at room temperature. When I think that things are finished, I actually put them in the fridge here. And you can see that I've got kind of my own pickle fridge going down here. Originally, this was supposed to be a pickle and beer fridge, but the pickles kind of took over. And so I've got basically a wide assortment of fun things that I can come down, I can eat, I can share, I can put in salad, I can cook with. So this is my pickle fridge.
What's the range of ages of things you've got in here?
Actually, it's funny that you asked. So I have some these dilly beans. I think were probably 2 years old, and I've sort of been working through them. I have some green tomatoes that weren't my favorite thing to eat whole, but I've been grinding them up, making relish out of them, trying to figure out how to cook with them. So I've been using them very, very slowly, but they're still good. They've been in the fridge for probably 2 years at this point. And then I've got some things that are new. This is a curtido that I made a month or so ago. So.
And it's delicious.
I think so. I've actually been going through that pretty quickly.
And I think we see some yogurt.
Yep, I've got some yogurt here. So I try really hard to make sure that I put the dates on the yogurt. I actually wasn't doing that for a while, and I found some yogurt in the back of the fridge that I had absolutely no idea how old it was.
Yeah,
so.
all things. I put a date, and usually what it is if it's not completely obvious, because
absolutely. I
find
also
some mystery ferments.
Something that I've been doing recently too is putting how long they've been fermented, because sometimes I will try things and really like a batch of something and not know what I did. So particularly on this curtido here, I actually said it's 310, which is the day that I bottled it, and it said 6 weeks ferment, so that at some point, if I have no idea what I did for this, I at least know that I fermented it for 6 weeks, and that's why I really liked it. So that's something that I've been doing too.
It's an excellent tip.
Yeah. So this is my pickle fridge.
I'm envious.
I think everybody should get an extra refrigerator if you have the space, because it really helps.